What's up guys, this is Sean and today we are in Merju Summer Suites, KL City Centre. Now I'm at Jalan Sultan Ismail. I have KL Tower on this side, and this is the monorail of Bukit Nanas Station, and this is Renaissance Hotel, and the site is just this one. So you have Platinum Victory Face Suites here, which is one of the best Airbnb spot right here. And because of the connectivity to the monorails and LRT, right, I think Dang Wangi is around the corner. The proximity to all the signature towers like KLCC lah, Pavilion lah. Also, it's very close to the offices. That directly created a demand for space here temporarily, which means the rental demand here is going to be superbly high. On a micro level, it's very dense because you just have a few buildings surrounding this development itself. And because of this kind of typology, the sound will be amplified. This is just right next to Akle. Number one is the overshadow issue. Number two, it's the privacy issue. Everybody can look at everybody. See how close is it? I think max is like 30 meters only, so that's the regulation. 30 meters is pretty close. Right at the end of the road is where you have the funeral land. It depends on how religious are you. So that's something to really take note. It's really about at what price you entry into a project. As there are factors that pulls up the project, such as the accessibility, there are also values that will pull down the price of the project. If I don't mention it, many don't even notice it because they kind of covered it with heavy landscape. And today will be another episode in collaboration with an audience, so shout out to him, thank you very much. And I think let's go. First glance, I think it's an office building turned into a residence lah. Just saying, let's go. Now you can see in this floor plate, right, there's 4 lifts serving 20 different units lah. It somewhat looks like a floor plate for an office building, but they just partition it to have units. Yeah, so we are here. Yeah, so if you can hear, right, that's the quality of audio around, I mean sound partition around the units here lah. It's because it's an afterthought, because if you look into the main floor plate design, it's supposed to be a towers by office, and it only makes sense because it's in the center of the KL. So now we are in the lift lobby. It looks good. It's supposed to be centralized aircon, but I'm not feeling any air. Then you have carpet floors where I'm not sure when's the last time they changed. 1.8 meters for the corridors, so I think it's fine. Sprinkler system because it's a commercial title. Then next to the fire escape, you have the utility room that is turned into a beans room. Yep, I think it's fine. But rather small for 20 units. As you can see, leakages happening already. Then this is the experience of walking in the corridor where you have all this angle and all, right? Just to squeeze in more units, they have 1 unit here, 1 here, 1 here. You can see that it's not as pleasant. This is the foyer, and let's check out the unit. So this is a 493 square feet unit, and it's a leasehold project. And the selling price currently is around 700 to 800 ringgit per square feet, which means a unit like this is going to be around 300 to 400 over 1,000. Before MCO, right, the rental rates here can go up to 2,400 per month. That is very, very high. So you come to think of it, right, the launch price for this, which is even more ridiculous, this was launched at 300,000 only, in the heart of the city, and definitely all these investors, right, have gained their cash flow a lot lah. So this is a very ideal investment property. But if you come to think of it, if you were to buy a home to raise a family, then think again lah, right? So just now you come in from the main door, on the corner tucked will be your basin, and this will be your washroom already. So it's a 1 bathroom unit, and it's full tiles up, shower screen, everything is complete lah. Rather some bit, but I think it's fine. Ceiling height is 2.6, which is rather low, and the layout is rather direct. After the main door, right, you have your pantry, then your bedroom and living room already. So this will be your dining, right, next to your pantry. So this is really just to make coffee or instant noodles lah. I think the unit is still very well maximized, although it's small. The width is nice, and then you have the bedroom already. You can still even squeeze in the wardrobe here, as well as a dressing table on this side. Okay, so let's check out the view. This is the balcony, and it's very short to accommodate all the compressors on top, but it's better than nothing. And the issue with the overlooking is quite real. Although I like the glass and steel handrail, but the overlooking privacy issue is like, well, you can directly see on what's happening in your neighbor. So this again illustrates the main difference between an investment purpose unit versus an own stay unit. It's a not bad space for a studio, and if I were to really like hustle in the city, right, 1,600 rental, I can stay right smack along Jalan Sultan Ismail. I don't need to waste like 2-3 hours just to get to the office. This is very ideal. And what I really like, you have retail downstairs, you have the coffee store, some groceries, right? Then you have the eyelashes, I'm not sure about that. Then you have money changer as well. So I came rather early today, and you can see a lot of workers here, and most of them are the cleaners who works the unit around here. I'm very disturbed by the beams, so you can see. I think the makeover guys, they camouflage it pretty well. They integrated part of the design, so it's not as obvious. But the ceiling height, I don't like. The sprinklers, I don't like. But yeah, you know what? It works. Hey guys, so now I'm at the facility deck. It's rather small, plus it's an office style, so this is kind of like an afterthought. What I like is the transparent wall swimming pool. I think that's about it generally. I didn't want to film a lot because there's a lot of children. Yeah, I think now it's rather direct. Sean, take 3 on 3. 3 things I like. Number 1, location. I couldn't emphasize this enough, right? The strategic location in the heart of the city. This is along Jalan Cendana, which is like the second, third block of the building. Here you have the Akle, you have Jalan Sultan Ismail as your main roads. Then you have the Dang Wangi LRT, you have the MRT of Bukit Nanas. Then this building really just puts you very close to whatever offices that you work in KL City Centre. In the same road already, there's like 4 malls. You have the Quill Mall, Maju Mall, Pavilion. Walk a little bit more, then you have KLCC already. Point number 2, the numbers really work. Before MCO days, right, I can only imagine that my monthly installment is only like 1,500, 1,300, and my rental is 2,600. So I get 1,000 surplus for every unit I own here. That's amazing, and this is like long-term rental. This owner told me that this unit is always vacant for max 2 weeks. Just so happened the tenancy ended and we came in before the tenant is coming in today. There's a lot of demand for this kind of spaces here. Just that it will be slightly hit right after MCO, but I think it will recover pretty fast because the fundamentals are correct. Third thing, I like that there's cafes and grocers and things like that. I think the main problem here around KL Towers, right, if it's pure residential, it's pretty hard to just stop by and grab a bite because car parks is not as convenient and the roads are smaller in KL. So the only choice you have is often enough to go into a building or a complex or a mall, and that is quite a hassle for the intention of just getting a bite. So this one, I think the commercial kind of complements whatever on top, and there's a co-working space. It's really ideal for foreign people or expats who just have a staycation here or just work here temporarily. 3 things I don't like: the architectural treatments. Ultimately, they are selling it as a VOS, which is a versatile office suites. It also blurs the line whether you can use it as an office or not, or you can use it as a residence or not. But for those with higher rental returns, generally people will all use as residents. So the entire experience, right, is not really like a home. Like the refuse room was transformed from a utility room. Then you can see the lift lobby is super huge, right, because it was for an office. Then the entrance, the main lobby, right, yeah, you feel like, wow, right, very grand, right. Again, it's for an office. So the main issue here is because it was designed as an office, the occupancy rate, the architect will not estimate as much. Then you will have a lot of utility problems like the sewage here, the water here, and you can really see the details of water seepage and things like that coming up very evidently. Point number 2, because they wanted to drive numbers, since it's a number game, per floor they squeeze in 20 units. It's not as pleasant because the audio is still pretty bad. I can hear to what my neighbor is listening to. That is crazy. And that layout of corners, right, just because I want to squeeze in another 4 units for entrance need to be somewhat shared. It's functional, just that if I were to call it a home, no thank you. Looking around the surrounding as well, there's a lot of towers around and a few coming up further. You can see similar language for buildings that are more oriented to short-term stays. As long as the numbers work, it will work. Third of all will be the temperature of the building. I just don't like how commercial buildings are being translated for residential purposes. Developers are just trying to bend the rules somewhat because it wouldn't make sense for me to convert the commercial use into a residential, because a lot of rules will be imposed on a residential unit, hence they will not be able to squeeze in 20 units per floor plate. The fire requirements will definitely be different. So this is back to the story of service apartment. Service apartment was built because they have commercial land, but no one wants offices. Let's face it, if I were to build a new office, right, the returns I can't liquidate as fast. No one will buy big offices right now. Instead, I will convert them and blur the line into like a VOS where it's like a versatile thing, just like Sofo, just like Sovo. So I think that's all. When the COVID situation is under more control, I think it will pick it up again because of the nature of the strategic location. Numbers don't lie. If you really purely look at numbers, which you should, if you really like this video, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sultan. Ciao.